All right, and that's it. You have officially joined the club. Name tags are over there. Take any open seat you can find, and you will be crushing your finances momentarily. Keynote speaker starts in about 6 seconds. You've downloaded YNAB, crafted your totally custom spending plan with all your lovely categories and their targets, and assigned every dollar you have out to each one of your categories. And can I just say, she's beautiful. You just keep looking at this masterpiece you've created and you're just, perfect. And then you think, okay, now what? Well, believe it or not, a spending plan is for spendin', and it's time to use YNAB out in the wild. So put yourself in whatever money spending situation you want, taking the kids out to ice cream, hitting up the board game store, a night out with friends. For my example today, I'm gonna be a plain bagel and choose buying groceries because we literally all do it. So the fridge is empty and it's time for me to head to the store. It was actually time probably 3 days ago, but now I've finally got the motivation, so I pawn the baby off on the husband and head out the door. Nice. First thing I'm going to do, check YNAB before spending. Somewhere between lacing up my shoes to leave the house and walking through the Arctic AC blast of Aldi's automatic sliding doors, I'm gonna whip out YNAB and check the available balance of my groceries category. Today, YNAB says I have $75 available to spend on groceries. This is where I'd ask myself, does that sound good to me? Is $75 really all I need for this grocery trip? Because if I'm being honest, I, without a doubt, spend minimum $100 every time I walk into this beige-dialed paradise. It's too good. So rather than skipping a few meals this week to stay within that $75 limit, that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna decide right now, before even grabbing my cart, where else in my spending plan I could shave a little money from to move into my groceries category. We like to call this finding the money first. Instead of limiting myself to an unrealistic amount or inevitably overspending and having to figure out later on how I'm gonna deal with it, we can see the problem now. So we're gonna decide right now what areas I can spend a little less in so I can spend a little more on groceries today, which is what I really wanna do. I see we have $30 in our gifts category, but I know we're not gonna need all that this month, so I'll move 10 from here to groceries. Looks like we have $50 saved up for haircuts. Mac just got a haircut, I'm growing mine out, so I'll take 25 of this, move it to groceries. Maybe I even move 10 out of our car fuel category since we're getting toward the end of the month and still have plenty left. And just like that, my grocery category went from an unrealistic $75 that I was sure to overspend to a booming $120. Finding the money first helps me not only stick to the plan, but do a mini reevaluation of my priorities. Just because at the start of the month I decided I needed this much for gifts and haircuts and gasoline doesn't mean that can't change throughout the month. So I shifted the money around until it did what I actually needed it to do, fill my fridge right now. Little tip, if you want to make checking your categories before spending even easier, try adding a YNAB widget to your phone. Load it up with whichever categories you spend from the most, and now it's easy as heck to take a peek at these categories on the go. In fact, I will link a little step-by-step on setting up widgets for iOS and Android down below. Next step, it's time to record my spending in YNAB. I filled my cart with Irish grass-fed butter and frozen thin crust pizzas and all other kinds of dietary contradictions, and the lightning fast checkout lady tells me my total, $131.22. So I whisk my cart away to the bagging counter, and before I start separating my frozens from my pantry items, I pull out my phone. There are a few ways to start up a new transaction in YNAB. I can open up YNAB and tap the plus button at the bottom of the screen. I can long press the app icon to start a new transaction. Or, since groceries is one of my handy dandy widget categories, I can tap it and YNAB will pull up the transaction entering screen with my groceries category pre-selected already. From here, I'll add in the total, I'm at Aldi, make sure the right card or account is selected, add in any memo or flags I want, and tap save. And then immediately doubt if it really was $131.22, or I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe. Now, why do I enter the transaction in real time at Aldi when I could just wait for this transaction to roll into YNAB later through my linked account? 3 reasons, actually. 1, In this moment, I still remember why I was here and what the heck I just bought. Do not underestimate this superpower. It is harder than you think. In fact, I'm gonna leave a memo while I'm here, something like standard grocery haul plus extra taco supplies for Josh's birthday. Who's Josh? I don't know. Because when you look back at this transaction in 6 days, you still won't remember why you spent $131.22 at Aldi. Some kind of deep dark magic, I don't know. But that is why we write it down. 2 split transactions. Right now, I know that this was mostly groceries, but it was also $15 in paper towels, which I like to record to household goods, and an $8 fiddly fig that I will categorize to my fun money. You think I'm joking, but Aldi man. It's easy to record this split transaction now, especially if I've got a receipt to look at. In 2 days, when this transaction rolls into YNAB and I've already been to Aldi again since then, this girl's not gonna remember paper towels and a fiddly fig. She just won't. 3, this immediately updates my category totals, keeping them as accurate as possible. If I wait until this transaction imports into YNAB in a day or 2, which is usually about how long my bank takes to import transactions into YNAB, my grocery category is still gonna look pretty loaded in the meantime, even though we all just saw I actually overspent the category entirely. But if I manually record it now, tomorrow night when I think, oh, should I go grab a box of LaCroix and some snackies for my office? I'll know, whoops, no grocery money left. I'll either have to find the money first before making my LaCroix snackies run or hold off altogether. And if you're wondering, wait, can I do both? Enter transactions myself and have my bank accounts linked in YNAB? 100%, dude. Any transactions that are imported into YNAB will link up to the transaction I entered myself. Smart computer things. Can't explain it. And if, for some reason, an imported transaction doesn't link up to its manually entered twin, I can match them up myself and the 2 become 1. And can I slip in a little tip? If the stress of entering transactions on the spot keeps you from doing it, consider using payees. Payees will match up the location you're at to the payee you select in that current location, meaning next time I'm standing in the Aldi checkout line and pull up a new transaction, YNAB will already have Aldi selected as the payee. Add this shortcut on top of the YNAB widget pre-selecting the category you tapped, and now all you need to do is tap your widget, enter the amount you spent, and get the heck out of there. Boom, problem of feeling awkward dawdling in public, solved. If you'd like to learn how to enable payees for yourself, I'll link the steps for both iOS and Android phones in the description box down below. 3rd step, cover any unexpected overspending. Okay, yeah, it happened. Even though I found the money first, I still couldn't resist Aldi's special finds aisle. The fines, they were too special. Couldn't help myself. I had to overspend. But it's okay because we're just gonna deal with this now and it's no big deal. I spent $11.22 more than I planned. Where else in the budget could I steal $11.22 from? I could take it from gifts, but I usually like our gifts category to build up a little bit if it can. Definitely don't want to take from dining out since that category suffers enough as it is. But actually, car fuel still has plenty of leeway for the rest of the month, so car fuel it is. It's important I cover my overspending as soon as I can because seeing red out in the spending plan means I spent money in this category that I didn't actually have to spend in this category. But I have more than enough money in my bank account. What do you mean I spent money I didn't actually have? Think about it like this. If I had 120 physical dollar bills in an actual paper envelope that I took to the store to spend on groceries, I couldn't spend $131.22. The cashier would make me put $11.22 worth of groceries back. YNAB works the same way. If I have 120 real dollars in a groceries category, but I want to spend $131 on groceries, or LOL, I just did spend $131 on groceries, we have to move $11 more into this category to make up for it, or else the rest of this whole spending plan is kind of a lie because that $11.22 has to come from somewhere. Until this red is taken care of, we can't actually trust any of these green numbers either. Remedy this overspending now so that the rest of your spending plan can be accurate and trustworthy again. And once you do, Call it a wrap. No guilt, no, oh dang, I messed up the spending plan. You didn't, my dude. You did what you needed to do to bring home the groceries this week. The rest of your spending plan adjusted, so now you get to kick back and relax knowing your money did exactly what you needed it to. That's a healthy spending plan, and be assured, covering overspending and all, you nailed this. And that's all it takes to YNAB out in the wild. Check the plan before spending, finding the money first if you don't have what you'll need. Record your spending in YNAB to keep your totals up to date, and cover any overspending right away to ensure your spending plan is accurate and trustworthy. And the best part, the more you do it, the more peace you have. The more financial clarity you can rest in, knowing you know where each of your dollars is going. No overspending, just reprioritizing. And often, just little bonus, the faster your money starts stacking up. Seriously, with YNAB, your slow and steady savings happens so stealthily in the background that one day you're just gonna wake up, look at your bank account and go, wait a second, that's a lot of money. It's a good day when that happens. Y'all, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy using YNAB out in the wild, and I'll catch you in the next one. The more financial clarity you can rest in, knowing where, fart. I promised Mom I was always gonna say fart. I'm a good girl. Am I super blown out? We'll find out. And now we're cooking it good. Whoa, sorry. Hannah? You're brave, and you're strong, and you can do it. You can read a script. Holy shnikes in the morning. Ooh. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what time it is. I have not a clue. Cool, I guess. My brain can't handle this day. Oh, great. Chaotic. That's good. Okay. Ow.